everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Heather, and on this channel we do full fun sewing tutorials, and we include all of our oopsies, our my bads, and XYZ. You name it, we have it in here because that's what happens when you sew in real life. Today I have something brand new that I'm so excited about. You guys, today we're sewing the Winona Crossbody bag from Hallel Patterns, and whew, is she a beauty. Okay, before I show it to you, I love small things. I do. If I could live in a tiny home on the beach somewhere, that's where your girl would be. I'm not there right now. That's okay, but I'm a big small things person, and I was so pumped to be asked to do the tutorial for this bag because she's a small one. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Look at her. You guys, so we're gonna take a minute. We're gonna appreciate this tiny, adorable, such a fun shaped bag. I have not seen anything like this before, and that was why, one of the reasons why I was so excited to get to sew this. We also do piping today, you guys. Piping for the first time ever. Not just on this channel, I mean like in my life, real life, we're doing piping. I will show you all the fun bits of this, but afterwards, I want you to stick around and see how we put this thing together. It is just, it's a fun one, you guys. Look at this. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Look at this shape. Look at her. Hello. Are you not the cutest thing ever? You are. So, let's get into the materials. Oh, and I will link absolutely everything I can below. So, if you're wondering where I got something, not someone, something, check in the description box. Make sure to expand before you have to do much searching and see if it's there first. If not, always feel free to ask me. All right, let's get into our materials and our sewing. All right, so here we are with our materials. We're going to start with just our main panels here. So we've got two of these for our exterior, and this is it's a vinyl from, oh gosh, where is it from? Hobby Lobby, I think. It was on a roll, so I won't have a link for this. Apologies in advance. And then our interior is this fabulous yellow waterproof canvas from Wonderground Fabrics. Our main zipper, along with the two zipper pulls, our zipper tabs for our zipper, and then we have pre-made piping. So this pattern does call for piping, and previous to this bag pattern, I've never actually done piping before. I have always left it out. So because of that, I wasn't super confident in making my own. So I did get this pre-made piping. Pretty sure it's from Glitter Bug Fairy, I think. I will confirm and link the piping below. But there are really great instructions in the pattern for making your own. Like I said, I just wasn't super confident in my ability to do that because I am not experienced with piping whatsoever. So we have two pieces of our piping cut to the length in the pattern. We are going to go with a metal bag tag today in the antique bronze to match our hardware and our faux cowhide. We've got our two slip pocket pieces. We have our interior zipper pocket pieces. So we've got our zipper facing and our two pocket pieces, as well as zipper tape, and this is number 5 zipper tape. A fun little pull for the inside. We have our gusset pieces, one exterior and one interior. We are going to go with chain for our strapping today. So we also won't be making a strap. I am not a strap maker. You know, I usually use webbing or chain or something of the sort. So that's what we'll be doing today, but the instructions in the pattern do have great instructions for if you want to make your own strap, crossbody strap, whichever. but we're gonna go with chain today. And then we also are using some metal connectors instead of the fabric connectors or vinyl, whichever you're using. So we're going to use these today, and I'll show you how to install these with the washers. It is super simple, and it's a really classy way to put some connectors on your bags. I'll have everything that I can linked below, so don't worry about where to find things. I'll do my best to show you. And there are pattern pieces and instructions to use your exterior for your connectors. So if you don't have metal connectors, you just have D-rings or triangle rings or whatever, that's totally fine. There's great instructions for that. Since we're using a metal bag tag and a chain, thought it would be kind of cool to stick with our metal theme. So that's what we're doing here today. That's all the things that we need. So let's head on over to the sewing machine and start sewing. All right, we're over here at the machine, which is a Juki TL2010Q, and we're using a Microtex 9014 needle. Currently we have a tank foot on, which we will change out as we move through sewing this together. If you've never heard of it, it's a tank foot for high shank machines. And we're sewing with Tex 35 weight polyester thread from Wizardry Stitchery. I'm just putting on our zipper pulls. So the pattern calls for 2 zipper pulls on the top zipper. And we are tabbing both sides, so we do want to just make sure that we put both of our zipper pulls on first. You know, that is, you never want to put your zipper on your bag together and you realize you have no pull on it. That's the worst. Just trying to get these to match up. I didn't like the bulge. We're making up some words here. I didn't like what it looked like the first time we tried it. When you pull zipper tape apart, there is always one tooth that's going to come first. And so I just look at what tooth comes first, and that's the side that I like to put in first. There we go. All right, our pulls are on. Now we have our zipper tabs, and we're just turning them so that we're just gonna burn our ends first actually, because we're gonna encapsulate. Just wanna make sure we're good to go. All right. So there's a long edge and a short edge on these zipper tabs. So we're taking the shorter edge and we're just lining that right up with our zipper tape. And we're just stitching at the seam allowance given in the pattern. We're going to switch out our needle because we almost just lost it. For what purpose? I have no idea. But to me, that means it's time for a new one, and we did not put a new one in before we started. These are not metal teeth either, for anyone who's about to ask that question. I like to take my time over the zipper teeth, even when they're plastic, because I still find that sometimes you're going to run into an issue occasionally, and that sound, broken needle or needle about to break and your face is like right there, it scares the crap out of me. It's like a sewing worst nightmare sound. Let me just take this out of here. Okay, fresh needle, good to go. We're going to resew what we just sewed. Because because we skipped a little stitch there in whatever happened. So I'm just gonna fix it. It's an easy fix. Excuse my head if it's in the way. I have no idea if it is or not, but all right, we caught. I'm just gonna take off our extra threads. All right, and here we go. We're doing this again. And we'll just take our time over the zipper teeth. There we go. Perfect. And then we're just pulling back and top stitching here. And a top stitch is just about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge that you're attempting to sew. Again, just taking our time over the teeth. So that we get a nice little top stitch. Just take off any excess threads. And then do the same thing on the other side. Okay. And there we go. I'm just gonna, we have a wonky stitch here, so I'm just gonna go over it. There we go. All set. All right, so that zipper prep work is done. We're gonna move on to our slip pocket panel pieces. So we're gonna do our interior pockets. Here, we're just turning our slip pocket so that it's right sides together. I'm gonna clip I love how the pockets mirror the shape of the bag. I think it's so fun. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we are gonna sew together from about this clip here, up, over, back around. We're gonna leave a turn hole here on the side. And we're just making sure that we stay on our seam allowance all the way through. We're coming up to the point where we want to stop sewing so that we have our turn hole. So we'll just backstitch real good. All right, now a couple of things here. We're gonna grab our peeking shears and we're just going to notch around the corner, not the corner, we're gonna notch around the circle at the bottom. That will help us turn out a nice bag. And we're just going to keep notching. If you don't have peeking shears, you can just make triangle cuts. And that's just where you cut in and basically make it look like the peeking shears do. Okay, and then we're just going to cut our edges here, our corners, so that those can poke out really nicely. And then we're just going to reach in and turn our pocket. Push out all of our corners real good. You might have to get a tool up there, which we're going to do here. It's just a stiletto. And we're taking the thicker side and sort of pushing that corner out. Want it to have real nice crisp lines and seams and corners and all the good stuff. Almost there, guys. Almost. All right, so there we go. Look at her cute little triangle shape. Oh, obsessed. Okay. The next thing we have to do, clean up our mess a little. We're just going to top stitch on the top edge only. Being mindful of our thicker seams here on the corners. And again, top stitch is just 1/8 of an inch, just a finished stitch. We're coming to that thicker part once again, and so being mindful of that. Here we go. All right. Now our turn hole will get closed up when we stitch this on, and you just really put your fingers in there and it's going to turn in on itself, okay? So we'll just use clips to close that for now. And then we want to just trim down our threads. Now I have backstitched and I don't burn the ends to seal them because they're good. I burn the ends because it'll make the thread like shrivel up on itself, and so if a little bit's sticking up that you can't get to, it's going to take care of that for you. So that's why I do that. We're just going to find the center. We should do it on all of our panels, and we will. I just didn't yet. So we're just going to find the centers. And then for the purposes of putting on this slip pocket, we're going to mark our center here. And because this is waterproof canvas, it creases really nicely. So we are going to use that crease instead of a mark to sort of line up where our pocket needs to be. Okay. We're going to go down per the pattern. So there are instructions in the pattern on how far down to place this pocket. Okay. So that's center, and now we're just taking our handy dandy hockey tape. This is not a sewing notion that you typically see. However, we got a lot of hockey tape around here, so that's what we're using. If it ever becomes a thing, you know who started it? It's me, the hockey tape user. We're just taping this in place with a tape that will come off easily, but we'll keep it the pocket where we want it as we're going around and top stitching it on. Okay. All right, we're good. We're on, hockey taped, ready to go. I just have a little excess that I'm cutting off so it doesn't interfere with anything that we're sewing. So now what we're going to do is we're just going around our triangle pocket, and we're going to sew from the top corner where our top stitching ended all the way down around the curve into the other corner. And this will attach our pocket to our lining. And I'm just ensuring a really nice stitch there at the top because the pocket will be used, and because the pocket will be used, we want to make sure that it has a really nice solid stitch. You don't want the pocket to come undone. I'm also just hand stitching because I know that that's a hefty part. Okay. And we just take our tape off as we go. See how easily it removes? Again, you can use Scotch tape or whatever works for you. If you have really large clips, you could have used those also. I just don't have any of those really large clips, so hockey tape works for me. Okay, we're just taking off the last piece of tape. Getting back to where it's bulkier. And we're just going to mirror what we did on the other side. There we go. Our cute little slip pocket is on. Now you can add rivets if you would like to. This is a smaller pocket. I'm not worried that there's going to be a ton of sort of stuff moving around in there, so I'm going to leave that as is. So this is our slip pocket side, and now we can move on to our zip pocket. All right, so we have all of our pieces. We have our zipper tape, our zipper pull, our two zipper pocket pieces, our main interior piece, and our zipper facing. I'm just going to quickly find those centers again on this side. Give a nice little triangle clip here to mark centers. All right. Now on the back side of the zipper facing, I have gone ahead and drawn the pattern designer gives you the zipper box that you need, which is fabulous because you don't have to figure anything out. And I love that. Love, love. I'm just gonna fold this in half to find our center marking. So I can match that with the center of our main panel. Now I'm just gonna go down per the instruction. She does also tell you where to put this, and so just want to keep that in mind. You do not have to figure that out either. The less figuring out I have to do, the better. I'm coming in with the hockey tape one more time here. I'm going to hold down our zipper facing while we sew. I guess I should start including hockey tape on my materials table. All right. There we go. All set. Now we're just going to take this over here to the machine and we're going to stitch all the way around all four sides of the box. You can start anywhere you'd like on this box. I'm going to go up one more stitch. Put us a little above our line, but I think that that's okay. Okay, we're stitched around our box. The next step will be to get our seam ripper, which is around here somewhere. We're just going to go right through both our panel piece and our main interior. And again, we sew these together right sides together. And what we want here is just to go right up the middle. And you're making Y cuts here at the end, so you are cutting up to those stitches in the corner, but not through. Very important. Do not go through. Okay. Just gonna see if we're close enough, and it looks like we got pretty close. So I like to press against waterproof canvas when I do zippers like this. I feel like it helps on the turn because we need to sort of mold the canvas into believing that this is what we want it to do. And so I do like to just put some creases and then we're going to flip it through. And we're going to use clips to again continue to mold this as we work on our zipper pocket. and, you know, smushing with our fingers, really getting in there. That's going to help push up our seam, keep it where we want it. There are several different ways to do zipper pockets, and so if you have a way that you prefer, you can absolutely do that instead, but I like to showcase sort of some different ways to do zippers. We haven't done one with a facing like this in a while, and so it's perfect that the pattern designer wrote it like this. Having sort of an arsenal of how to put in a zipper in a bag is super important to skill building when you're a bag maker. We're going to worry about those short sides after we come up and do both of our long sides. This manipulating the fabric really, it's going to help us when we put our zipper in. I also love that this is a small bag, but it has a lot of pockets. The main pocket, a slip pocket, and an interior zip pocket. Like, yes, please, and thank you. Because you know your girl be losing stuff in a big open bag, okay? And now we're just taking care of those short sides. Really getting in there and smushing. All right, we're gonna leave that be for now, and we're gonna work on putting together our zipper pocket. All right, we grabbed our double-sided tape here in case we need it. We're gonna leave our zipper pull off for now, and we're just gonna take one side of our zipper, and we have our zipper, one piece of our zipper pocket right side up. We have our zipper tape, oh my gosh, we have our zipper tape right side up also, so the wrong side of our zipper tape is facing the right side of our pocket piece, and we are just going to go right ahead and stitch this together about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. You can clip this if you'd like, or just ensure that it stays where you want it, which is what we're doing. And you do just want to make sure that you've centered your zipper on your panel, okay? Like so. And now we're going to take our other, so we're flipping it so we can see the wrong side here, right? Wrong side, right side of zipper. And we're going to take and put our other piece right side up again, and we're going to take the wrong side of our zipper tape and put that facing our other piece. Once again, we're just going to make sure that we line up our zipper. I am going to clip this because I want to check to make sure we're lined up appropriately. When you're lining up the second side, it's not just where you line up on the top, but it's ensuring that your pocket pieces line up also. So see how they're correct, they match, that's what we want. Okay, so now I'm just going to stitch this on. Same thing, 1/8 of an inch. There we go. So cute, right? So we are looking at the wrong sides on both sides. We want the right sides to be on the inside. Super important. Now, before we put on our zipper pull, I like to put my double-sided tape on here because our zipper is flat. No matter how good you put your zipper pull on, where the pull is always a little chunkier, just nature. So we're just gonna put this on flat. Okay, do the same thing over here. Okay. Now, we want to put on our zipper pull before we forget. So we have our pull going to the left, and so we're going to make sure that this is our bottom and this is our top. And we've moved both of our pieces up towards the top because for the time being, we are going to sew across the bottom only. So we're just going to push everything down real good, move our zipper pull to the middle, and then we're going to take our clips off. Okay. Again, we just want to make sure that our zipper facing stays behind. So we're doing a nice little smush. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm literally smushing. Okay. And now we're just going to take off the bottom piece of our double-sided tape. All right, and we are going to center our pocket. Right there on the bottom. Okay, so that's what we have. This is what we're worried about right now, is just this bottom piece. So with that in mind, that our only concern is the bottom, we're going to leave everything else as it is for now. We're going to head up here and we're going to sew just a top stitch a little extended past where the box begins, okay? So a little over here, all the way down our straight edge on the bottom and a little extended. And that will set us up to finish off sewing this box as we need. And we're just going to ensure that our zipper pull gets moved out of the way. It's a little on the large side, so just be cautious. You use a big one like I did. And as we come to the side here, we're just going to make sure that this is straight on. And a little extended and back. perfect. All right, so you can see we just have, hopefully you can see, stitched right along the bottom. And now is when we're going to turn our attention to the rest of the box. So we're going to move everything down here. Okay, we pulled our pocket panel down. And we're going to take off our double-sided tape from the top. And we're going to finish that placement of our zipper box. So here's where we're just going to be really careful. We're going to pay close attention to our seams. We're going to hope that work we did to sort of train the fabric ahead of time is going to help us. And there we go. So now we're going to come from where we stopped. We're going to come up all the way across and back down to where we originally started. And we're just going to be we're going to take our time, we're going to be cautious, we're going to try to make sure our stitches go where we want them. Okay, we're going to move our zipper pull. Again, we have a large one, so keep that in mind. Oh, it's a weird sound. Don't know what that's about, but okay. Could have got stuck on some of our double-sided tape underneath. All right, you guys, there we go. That's our zipper box. Let me just unzip all the way. So see? Now we just need to close off the box itself. And you can see our bottom panel is now a little bit larger, but that's okay because now we don't have the bulk right here underneath. And so we're going to keep that in mind as we sew together our panels. So we're just going to come in here right next to where we have sewn, and we have our main exterior on the top, so that way we can move it out of the way and we can ensure that we don't get it in our stitches at all. And now I'm sewing, keeping in mind that our bottom piece is smaller. I can see it, I can feel it, and I want to just make sure that we follow the curve of our bottom piece. Okay, now we're coming back up to the top where we have a significant amount more layers, a few more things to get through. So you can see here, we just stayed right along the edge of that. And we have a finished pocket. Super cute. We're just gonna do some trimming here. I'm gonna get that seam allowance down. We wanna trim off any excess zipper tape. We're just gonna trim up our pocket panel piece. And this will just make sure it stays out of our way when we're sewing our final pieces together. Okay? And then you want to ensure you're doing your burn. So now both of our interior panels are fully complete, ready to go. You guys ready to do some piping? I'm ready. Let's go. Okay, so we're onto the piping, and like I've said a couple of times, I've never done piping before, so we're learning together. I kept this foot on just to baste the piping as close to the edge as possible, so I did one already. I don't know how I feel about it. There are markings. Okay, so here's our second side. And I have put on our bag tag, just a metal bag tag. So I just came down from the center and used the prongs, covered it with duct tape. I also added some Decovil in here just for strength. The pattern designer has measurements on the side of, for you to put on the sides of your panels. And that's where you start and stop your piping. And we've also gone ahead and cut just into the piping so that we can curve it nicely. So we're just going to line this up. And clip it all the way down. And maybe your piping is different. Again, we're just using pre-made piping. We did not make our own. Whatever works for you. Maybe you pipe all the time and you're a piping expert. Go for it. I am 100% beginner at piping, so just keep that in mind as you watch me go through this. Never done it before. I am a little concerned about going over the piping with the gusset and all of those things sort of all combined with a zipper foot, because I really dislike the zipper foot, but it's necessary so that we can get close enough, and it's just a lot of material to get through, so I'm not feeling super good about that, but I guess we'll see. We shall see. So we're just basting this on now. I'm just kind of trying to get that piping to lay where I want it. Now, we've got a little bit of overhang, which is totally fine, and we're just going to cut it. Okay, now there are also instructions about when you're starting your piping, you want to move your piping over so that it has like a start and a stop. So like, you know, you don't see the end basically. It sort of looks like it's going into your bag, and so that's what we're going to do here. We're just bending our piping so that it's coming off the edge. We're just going to grab our screwdriver. And again, we're just basting this on so our foot is riding right along the edge of the piping. All right, and now we're coming back towards the top, and so we're just going to rebend up here in the same manner that we did over there on the other side. We definitely missed some basting, but I'm not concerned about it. It's just a baste. So there we go. Our piping is on. All right. Now we are going to find the center of our zipper. You can cut into the center if you wish. I'm just going to make a mark with our chalk marker. So I'm just marking the centers on both sides. Like so. Center is marked. Now, since we have two zipper pulls, it does not matter how we put ours. Like usually if you have one that opens to the left or the right, you want to be really specific about what side you use, but because we have two zipper pulls, we don't have to be specific. So we're taking our zipper, we're putting it right side down with our exterior, we're matching up our centers. And there is going to be overhang, and that is what you want. Okay. And by overhang, I just mean down here, okay? Because our top sort of goes up to a triangle, your overhang, it looks like it's overhanging, but actually matches just right at the tippy top corner. All right. Now this is our front. It has our bag tag. And we want our slip pocket to be on the front. So you can baste this if you wish, and you know what a basting stitch is, we've done it 1,000 times. I'm gonna add them all at once here, okay? So now I'm taking our lining panel piece for the front, and I am turning that right side down, so it's matching the right side of our exterior, and then I'm gonna take that center marking and just match that up, and I'm gonna just place this into our clips in both directions. Okay, and then we're going to sew. And so here I can tell that we're getting close to our zipper pulls, so we're just going to move those so that they're out of our way. And continue on. And now we want to, look at how cute, you guys. She's so cute. Oh, all right. We're just pulling our fabric away from that zipper tape on both sides, okay? And we're just sort of finger pressing. We're gonna work our way down this and just make sure as we go, we're pulling everything away from the zipper tape. And we're just gonna do a top stitch on this side. And we are doing a top stitch all the way down. Again, just ensuring that we're pulling everything away. And it's totally fine to take your time here. It does not have to be a sprint. What a nice top stitch. Everyone's gonna see it. And I'm just gonna take the time to move those zipper pulls one last time. There we go. Got a very nice top stitch. And one side is all set and on. We're good to go. And now we're going to take our back side and we're going to take our center and turn that upside down. So our right sides are matching each other. We're going to find our center marking. There we go. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to sew both on at once. Again, if your preference is to baste, 100% go for that. I'm a one and doneer. So I don't know if that's good or I don't know. Good or bad, who knows. All right, now we've got our pocket lining. And we want that, our right side, to face the right side of our lining. So we'll turn that upside down. We'll find our center markings and we're just adding that in. Again, the same thing that we just did. All right, so we're on, our pulls are down here, so we're good to start. Okay, we're getting to our pulls, so we're just going to reach in here and move those out of the way. All right, same thing for our top stitch. I'm loving this. So cute. All right, here we go. Top stitch, side 2. Okay, so look at her. She's gonna be a cutie, you guys. Gonna be a cutie. So what we want to do now is we want to baste our interiors and exteriors together. So we're just gonna clip. All right, we're clipped all the way, and now we're just going to go around both sides and baste everything together. And we're just coming right back up to where we started. All right, baste it together. Enough, we're good enough. We missed a few spots because of the piping, but I don't think it's enough that it's gonna interfere with anything that we're doing. So we're just gonna leave it. We do have quite a few loose threads because we, I don't know why. We apparently did not clean them up as we went today. So there's that. I'm just gonna cut some of these off right now. All right. That is all set for the time being, and we are gonna let that hang out. We're gonna move on to our gusset, and as I said in the beginning, I'm using metal instead of what is in the pattern. So I just wanted to explain really quickly how I did that. So the pattern designer has, once again, put the markings for where you want to put your connectors, which is amazing. So I just use those markings for the metal connectors here. I do have a piece of Decaville. I did not interface because the materials we're using and because of my machine and the techniques that we were using today, including the piping. So I wanted to be really mindful. So I just put some slits in here based on the pattern designer's recommendations for the strap connector location. I just really wanted to be mindful of our choices so that nothing that we did really interfered with our sewing. And with this being the first time we have used piping, we being me, I really just wanted to make sure that I didn't use anything too thick. So we're really trying to make it look nice and pretty. All right. And I'm just trimming off the excess Decaville here at the top. I don't want it to get in our seam allowance or like interfere with our sewing or anything like that. And I do have our duct tape. We're gonna have to just cover these. Again, making sure we don't get duct tape sewn into anything that we're doing. Okay. And the duct tape just makes sure that over time these metal pieces don't wear and tear through our lining. And you could use whatever tape, it doesn't have to be duct tape. I just happen to have duct tape on hand. All right. There we go. Now, oh, sorry guys. So we're basting together. So our interior, our lining is wrong side up, and then we're putting the wrong side of our exterior down. So wrong sides together. And we're just gonna clip everything in place. Because we're gonna baste it all, make it one. And we'll do center markings once we baste everything together. All right. And again, baste is just that 1/8 inch to keep it all together right along the edge. And this is not a stitch you'll ever see, so if it's not perfect, that is totally fine. Also, I have to apologize. In the materials, I did not show you the binding that we're using to finish this bag. This is a bound bag. But if you can do piping, you can do binding. Seriously. So this is a 1-inch fold over elastic, okay? And it is going to be the easiest thing to use here because it's stretchy. It goes around corners well. We're going to have multiple corner pieces that we need to sort of think about. So we are going to use this. So that's what we're doing. It's bound, but if you can do the piping, you can do the binding. Seriously. I am much more concerned about the piping than I am the binding. Does everybody feel like this when they are doing something for the first time? I'm like seriously concerned for how this is gonna look. We're just finding the centers on all 4 sides. And then we're gonna come here, and we do need to find the center of our zipper tape, and we do that just by folding over. So see here, just like that. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do a little clip right up here in the center. Okay, and then same thing over here. Right up in the center. There we go. Perfect. All right, now we are going to put our bag down so that the exterior is facing up. And then we're going to take our gusset piece. We're going to put the exterior facing down. So exteriors are facing each other. And we are, that does not look like the center. What did I do? What happened? I'm just going to remark that center. I didn't cut the center on the other side either. Whew. All right, so center remarked. I'm just going to take that center and I'm going to match that up with the center that we just did. Okay, that's what I'm going to do for now. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to put a bunch of clips. Now I'm going to come down here and refine the center here, because wow, did I do a terrible job at that. Okay, and centers matched up and clip together. All right, now we're going to take the center of our gusset and match that with the center of our main panel. Okay, we're going to put a few clippies. To hold it, and then we're going to come over here and do the same thing, center to center. So it almost looks like a little banana right now. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna clip everything all together, all right? And if we need to, we're gonna make some slits into the gusset to make it match up real nice. But we're gonna clip. I'm gonna save you the trouble of watching me do it. And then we will just come back together once we're all clipped up and ready to move to the next step. All right, we're all clipped up. Like fiercely clipped up. It's a thing. We're very clippy right now. Okay, so here's what it's gonna look like. It's almost like a boomerang. I am gonna staple. Now, if you don't have a staple, you don't like stapling, totally fine. You don't have to, but I know that fabric has a tendency to move around a curve, and I don't want our fabric to move at all. So I am going to take the extra time to staple, and I'll show you just real quick here. That's what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna staple all along. This will take extra time, obviously, for the stapling, but then we're gonna have to go through and pull all of our staples out as well because we're binding, so we don't want to accidentally sew over them. But I really think that stapling is going to help us as we move through sewing this bag together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, staple. I'll leave some clips in here as well. And then we'll come back and I will have switched out to a zipper foot. Whew, we'll see how that goes. And make sure our bobbin's all set. And then we're going to sew our bag together. We're almost done, you guys. All right, we're stapled, as you can see, all around. We've got our little banana hammock going on. All right, and we're just gonna go for it. We have our zipper foot on. I am super stressed about this because we have thick layers of material and I'm just concerned. So, but we're gonna go for it. And this is one continuous sort of stitch all the way around the bag. And we are going to use the piping as a guide. So we want to make sure that we're not sewing over our staples, and we want to sew right next to where that piping is, but not over it. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go for it, and I probably won't talk a lot because I'm very nervous, so wish me luck. When you are sewing with staples, you do really just have to make sure you don't go over any of those staples because they are metal. It's a good way to pop a needle, and you all know how I feel about popping needles. Scares the crap out of me. And I'm just keeping an eye on that piping. Keeping an eye on everything. I'm also just keeping an eye on relief slits that I made in the fabric to make sure that we cover those. All right, coming up to the top here. And this is where our piping sort of starts to taper in. And I'm just going to lift the foot here. And then get inside the bag. And I'm just gonna make sure that whatever we're sewing on at that moment is what's underneath and straight. Okay. All right, we're coming back to another piping edge here. We're getting there, you guys. We're getting there. All right, I got a little, looks like we didn't catch all the way, and so I'm pulling to sort of manually fix this. And we're gonna make this happen, you guys. Oh yeah, we got it. We got it. Okay, again, we're coming up to where our piping is going to move off. Now we're just trying to make sure that we have everything that we need and nothing more underneath where we're sewing. We're almost where we started, almost. Whew. You guys, we made it. I'm in shock. I'm in shock, we made it. We got a little zhuzh going on here. I don't know what that is. I don't know what's going on. I'm not really that worried about it. I do see just a couple. Actually, I feel really good about that. I feel really good about what we just did, you guys. All right. There we are. Right? There we are. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. I am going to save you the trouble of watching me pull out all these staples, but it's basically it's how you would unpick staples from paper. Okay? That easy. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to unpick all the staples, and then we're going to put our binding on, and you guys, then we're done. We get to see this cutie and see how our piping turned out. All right. Super excited, you guys. Like, seriously. I'm just trimming off the extra piping, the extra bits up at the top. Anything that's going to interfere with our binding, really like laying where we want it. Do a little trim. And if you've never done binding, it is not difficult. I like it because you don't have to be really precise. If you use thread that's the same color as your binding, which we're doing today, no one is ever going to see your stitches in it. And so it's like almost like a free-for-all. Now, we do just have to be cautious because we have the piping, and so we can't sew over the piping. So we just have to keep that in mind as we're sewing. I like to start on a side And there is a matte side and a shiny side, and we're going to keep our shiny side up. There's also a line in the center. Can you see that? And so that's our fold over. So we're gonna start here, and then we're just gonna do a really like light stretch. And so this is why I like the elastic so much for this, because it's curvy and it's just gonna follow those curvies all the way around. And we don't have to do any extra work for it. If you've never tried fold over elastic, just make sure that you purchase the 1-inch fold over. I had smaller than that, and that was what my issue was with it. I tried it. I could not get it to work. And I was like, how are all these people making these beautiful bags with this fold over elastic and I can't get it to work? And it was because I was trying to use fold over elastic that was too small. I'm like, oh, I get it now. I love how it's one continuous stitch in this bag. I think that that's super fun. You are putting a gusset on, but it's like easy peasy because it's one piece. We're just continuing that light stretch all the way around. Making sure we have all of our stitches in our seams. We're almost back to where we started here. And so for that, we're just going to extend a little, make a nice little cut, and clip. And then we're just going to fold over our end here. Ensure that we still have that stretch. And there we go. All right, let's do this, you guys. This is our last step. Last step. Woo-woo. We're almost there. I'm super excited. So we're just gonna pick a spot to start. Grab our thread. We're just gonna stay right there on the edge. Make sure that we're plenty far away from our piping, that we don't interfere at all. We're just gonna go for it. That piping is just pushing our elastic a little bit, but it'll be fine. Once we turn the bag, you won't see any of that. And we just, again here, want to make sure that we only have what we need underneath. If I am in the way. I'm trying not to be. We're about halfway. We're still using that zipper foot because of that piping here, guys, so keep that in mind. We're coming to where we started. Where we started our elastic, not where we started sewing. All right, now we're starting to come back. We're almost there. We're coming back to where that piping starts. So we're just gonna have to lift our foot up over it. We did it. Got a couple of loose-ish threads. Just gonna burn those. You guys, oh my god, it's so cute. All right, binding complete. We've covered all of our stitches. Now it's time to head to the finish table and see what our bag looks like. Okay, you guys, I just attached our chain strap to our bag. Oh, yes, look at her. All right, this double zipper makes the small bag seem large. It has a big opening. We still got to mold our inside just a tiny bit. We just turned her, so, you know, you got to do your smushing, right? But we've got the slip pocket on one side. We've got our adorable zipper pocket here, and they're both really good sized pockets, right, for the inside. And then we're gonna put her right back together. Okay. So we've attached our chain strap. And I'm not good at this, right? Oh my gosh, you guys, look. Look at her. You guys. Oh, I can't stand it. Oh, I can't stand it. She's so cute. And let me tell you, this is the first pattern from this pattern designer, and she killed it. I mean, just absolutely nailed it out of the park. I love a pattern designer who leaves no questions for you. You want to know where to put the strap connectors? You don't have to measure, you just follow the pattern. You want to know where to put the zipper box on your zipper facing? No worries, follow the pattern. I love that. Sometimes when I'm making a bag, like, and I have a pattern, I don't want to do the measuring. And so I love a pattern designer who can just give it to me and make it that much easier for me. And she definitely does that. Okay, so this is our first time piping. Again, we got smush and zhuzh still, but I actually feel really great about it. And I'm gonna say it's because of the way the pattern was written, you guys. Piping scares the crap out of me. Does it still? Yes. But now I can say I've done it, and I know that I can. Now, if you're like, yeah, no, can't do that. This bag is gonna look super cute even without piping. Seriously. You do still have to do the binding, but if you do the binding like I do and you just go for it, that's not an issue. It's not. I do think you can do the piping. If I can do the piping, so can you. But if you're like absolutely not, and that's the one thing that's sort of stopping you from getting this pattern, you can make it without the piping. Totally can. And if you don't want to use metal for the sides, you can make the strap connectors. Or if you hate your top stitching and you don't want to do strap connectors, do what your girl did here, because I'm a terrible top stitcher, and use the metal. You can make this anything you want. I think that's what's so amazing. You can make it bigger. You can even make it smaller. This would fit my phone and a purse and all my fun activities for sure. It's a great size. It's so fun. And I can't wait to make a bunch more. I have so many ideas in my head already as to what we can do with these. I hope that you enjoyed today. Thank you so much again to the pattern designer for asking me to make this video and to test out the bag. I love it. Like, I love it. It's so cute. I hope that you'll grab the pattern and try out something new, or, you know, do something you've done 100 times, but do it with so much love. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you soon.